Hey guys, welcome back to Debate Hut. Today we've got a Disney debate for you. So we're going to do a comparison, and we've done a few of these before. We've done one for Cinderella, we've done one for Aladdin, which will be coming out soon. We've done one for The Lion King again, will be coming soon. So if you've got any suggestions, whether that be Disney or not, let us know down below. But anyway, this video, we're going to do The Little Mermaid 1989 versus 2023, which is better. So we've got a list of categories and we're going to go through all of them. And at the end, we're going to decide which one was better. Was it the animated or the live action? And make sure to share down below your views as well. Maybe you think one of them was better for a certain reason or not, but just let us know everything. And also, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I think we should just get going because I feel
Yeah.
like Grace is really pumped up for this one. So I think we've got to let her speak. So we're going to start off with Best Ariel. So if you've seen our debate on is Ariel a bad role model, you'll know that to us. I think we can all say this, right? But she is the worst role model out of all of the official Disney princesses. I think really? I
That's
thought
a
we
debate
agreed
for
on that.
another day.
Okay.
Like we got the few ones in the ones before Ariel, but yeah, she has some
Yeah,
done some
but
bad
I,
things.
I think
Definitely one of
she
the ones.
literally has a lot of anyway, that's a different
Yeah,
thing. But the
just check the
2023
video.
one improved on this, but I still feel like there are issues with the 2023 version. I like it's like not personally suits Ariel, it's just the way she was portrayed and stuff. So
Mm.
I feel like Ariel singing Under the Sea like didn't really make any sense. And that song was supposed to be like Sebastian's, and he's trying to convince her that life under the sea is better than anything, and she's supposed to like agree that because she's supposed to say, oh, well it isn't land, going on land would be much more better. And I feel like the actress Halle's acting could have been a little bit more better. I know she hasn't done like a lot of different stuff. I don't really know what she's done before and if she has done anything, but the scene where Ariel turns into a mermaid again and she looks confused, not scared or frightened about Ursula or anything, I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, you're supposed to be scared. Like, there's Ursula right in front of you. You're supposed to be terrified. But that's just one instance where I literally picked it up and I was like, oh my God. I also didn't like her added song in the movie for the first time. Like, I didn't understand the need for that. I get that they want to change it up and, add new stuff, but I really did not like that song. Like, it just seemed like a pointless addition. And I know Grace disagrees with me, I think, from what I remember, but I really personally didn't feel any chemistry between her and Eric. It felt more like a friendship. So, yeah, whilst I really did love the changes that they made to the 2023 Ariel, I still hold like I still feel like the 1989 version is just much more better, even though she's like the worst role model in my eyes. So, the 1989 Ariel wins for me. Grace?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm on the fence here because while I've rewatched the original Little Mermaid and I'm just trying to think about what Ariel was like back in the day, and I realized she's not that bad. I mean, sure she's did a lot of mistakes, but to be honest, she's very spirited. She's got courage. She's very ambitious, and sure she fell in love with humor in the first sight, but there was a bit of chemistry in the original, and I kind of like that. In this one, in the new one, Halle did actually a great job. I think like her singing was amazing. I love her part of a what part the what's her song? Sorry, part of your world. I think she sang beautiful, and yeah, and her acting was good. Like she was, I think she was a great Ariel. Like she was very compassionate. She was very courageous. She played like the Ariel like we see in the original. She wanted to go on land, like she didn't fit in her original life under the sea, and she wanted to do something new. And I do kind of agree, like a little bit at Emily. Because I think like there was like a bit of chemistry between Ariel and Eric in the original, but I think there were just some parts I realized that I don't know. I felt like in the original, I think Ariel showed a bit more love for Eric. Like we get to see her, like her deep desire to be with him. But I don't think we've seen her that from the remake in a way. Like I feel like we did like I feel like Ariel was interested in Eric, but I feel like afterwards we didn't see like maybe Ariel wasn't like daydreaming about Eric, or maybe she wasn't thinking about him all the time. I don't know. I'm not. It's I get it. Not trying to show like, oh, you should be obsessed with the guy you first met, but I don't know. But I feel like Ariel should, like in the remake, Ariel should have been a bit more like like not interested, but really fantasize. That sounds weird, but like very like a bit more intrigued is the word I want to say. Um, but I think both versions did a really good job. Like I think they were both great. Great singing, good acting. Again, different mixed messages, but I think all the same, they were good. They were good role models in the end.
So I think both of them done an amazing job. However, I am sticking with the original. This is no hate on the new actress of Ariel, but I just feel like she could have had more spirit in a way. She
Mm.
just didn't quite have the same, like, not, I guess, freedom and like just not power, but you get what I mean, like the influence that our original Ariel has. She didn't just quite have that. And I feel like it was like a little bit of a letdown. But again, this isn't any hate on the actress. I love her. I think she's a great actress. I just feel like it didn't quite fit with our
Mm.
original Ariel.
Wow, okay. So two to original, one to mixed
On
on the
and
fence. All right, next one. Best Prince Eric. I've I didn't actually say this at the beginning, but I've never actually been a massive fan of the Little Mermaid. And I always found Eric okay. I've never found him like is to be like one of the greatest characters ever. And in the original, we never really find out much about him. And in the 2023 one, this changes. We find out that he's adopted by the royal family of the island. I mean, I still don't really understand what that had to do with the whole thing. Like they so like they could have gone like they could have, this whole talk about adoption and stuff like that could have been like a really big theme to that, but they didn't wasn't like it just felt sort of pointless. Like why drop that
mm.
in and not really, but anyway, it's not basically Eric's story, is it? And I like, why couldn't he just have biological parents in this one? Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, it just felt all over the place. This was a chance for them to sort of like bring out a bit more of Eric's backstory and stuff, but because he was found, or was he found? He was found, right?
Yeah,
In
he
the
was
film.
shipwrecked when he was a baby,
Yeah.
and the Queen and King took him in.
Yeah, like they could have explored that a bit more and like, they could have like, they definitely should have. And his song, like, just it was really unnecessary. I
Oh,
really didn't like it. I just, or basically all of the new additions, the new songs in this movie, I just didn't really like it, and no chemistry between the two. So this Eric didn't really make me like Eric anymore. So I'm still just gonna stick with the 1989 Prince Eric.
yeah. I thought the original Eric was actually pretty great. Like we see that he was kind, generous. He took Ariel in when he found her, and we see a little bit more character in him. Like we see like he's very energetic, and he's a dog lover. He loves to explore. So yeah, in the remake, I did like him as well. Besides being cute and all, he did stand up a few times, and I'm glad we did get to learn a bit about his background, but I didn't quite get the adoption story as well. I didn't know if that fit well in the story. I hear in an interview that they chose that story because they wanted to show that Eric still felt like an outcast, like Ariel, like he was adopted, but he still wants to go out at sea because he still feels lost, like he was when he was a baby when he was shipwrecked. Sorry. So but I felt like I think it would have been better if both biological parents were dead, like if they were royalty, and he's growing up and he's being forced to learn to be a king one day. I am happy that he did get a song. I'll talk about that later when we talk about best music score. And to be honest, in the film, I felt like they sort of they sort of cut off half his character, because I feel like he lost all his small but iconic moments from the original film. Like in the lagoon, we see like Ariel try to kiss him, and he pulled back first because he was trying to be respectful, which shows his character. In the remake, he was the one that leans in, and she pulled back, which probably adds up to the story, but it just didn't fit right. And the worst thing, I know some people like it, and some people dislike it, but I didn't like how they changed the ending, because I felt like for the final battle, really, that it was Ariel who pulled the broken ship and killed Ursula. Because I thought in that moment it was the part where Eric proved himself that he's worthy of Ariel's love, because he didn't care if she was a mermaid or not. He risked his life to save her, and that just shows it. So, and I get it, like they're trying to show women in power and like show how women are strong and independent. But I felt like that was like a big key moment for Eric as well, because it's not because I know they're trying to show like women don't have to be dancers in distress as well. And nor do men. Why can they show like women can save men and men can save women as well? Like why do you have to put all on women saving the man? Why can it be equal? So I was really disappointed by that, to be honest. But besides all of that, I think they should have gave Eric a bit more like personal obstacles to face in his life. Like I felt like it was just him, his like issues on land with his mother, and finding Ariel. But I felt like there should have been more as well. But I'm on the fence, but I'm sort of leaning towards the original.
Again, no hate on this new actor, but the original just sits different. You guys have kind of covered out all the bases, but same as the Ariel, I just feel like we were lacking that character, and we were lacking everything that we knew about them. There wasn't any magic behind it, if you know what I mean. There wasn't any like oomph. We were like, they gave us the shell of the character and just didn't dive into any of their quirks or like their interests or their storyline. Like we got the very main basis of it. I don't know. Wasn't a bad. Sorry.
Okay, getting interesting. We'll go to the next one. Best Ursula. Ursula from the 1989 version is like such an iconic Disney villain. Like I'm sure the top answer would be Ursula for like, Family Feud or something. She's scary, her song is so catchy and so evil at the same time, and she just wants to become the ruler. And it's just such a simple purpose. And she's just simply just an amazing villain. And Melissa did a great job in the 2023 version. She's definitely one of the standout characters for me, but she just isn't as good as the original. But she did a great job as she could, because it's just so difficult to stand out from something that was already done so well. I What I most liked was the addition of a backstory, the fact that she's King Triton's sister, which is all something, there was like loads of different Disney theories and stuff about that. So yeah, I really liked that addition. That was really good. That was definitely a thumbs up for me for the 2023 version. But the final battle, she didn't really seem that scary to me. And that's quite a big shame, because Ursula, like, she's supposed to be so scary. So yeah, so whilst Melissa did a great job, and definitely Ursula from 2023 is one of the standout characters for me, I still have to give it to the animated version for the best Ursula.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm sticking with the original, because don't get me wrong, Melissa did a brilliant job. Like her singing, like her song was actually pretty good. I listen to it often now. But to me, while she was dark and twisted, I just didn't get her like a pure evilness, if you know what I mean. Like in the old, like in the original, I remember like the most thing I remember about Ursula is that she's always smiley and she's always so like she's always so cunning. In for Melissa, I just feel like in almost like in like some things where she's meant to be like smiling or laughing, like you know, like if you remember the her transformation to Vanessa in the original, Ursula gave that evil laugh, and in the remake she didn't. I feel like that was the most iconic. Like Ursula is just showing like how purely evil she is, but not in this one. I just feel like, and I do like the story that we finally learned that she's trying to insist up. I feel like I'd rather have that as like a plot twist in the end, not knowing that in the beginning, because otherwise I just feel like, oh, okay, like just nothing. I feel like they should have like saved that for last, really. This is gonna sound a bit weird, but in the original, I feel like most Disney villains like kind of have to make you feel like a little bit uncomfortable. Like they always have to invade your private space. Like we see like Ursula with her tentacles like covering up like Ariel's shoulders and like pushing her forward and like trying to persuade her. I felt like she didn't like it for the remake. Ursula didn't make me feel like a bit like anxious or like something like that. I just felt like she was just trying to be a bit I don't know, something else. I just didn't feel like that uncomfortable but such evilness that just gets you to the core, really. And also I didn't like that, like in Poor Fortunate Souls, we learned that she doesn't transform her victims into those weird garden creatures. She just kills them. I just thought that's I don't know. I'd rather have a villain who makes their victims like be alive and tortured forever instead of just killing them, you know, because I think that what makes them a real evil villain, you know. Instead of killing them straight away, they just torture them for a long time, I think. So I'm sticking with the original.
It is once again the original for me. Ursula is such an iconic villain. I love her. She's definitely like one of my favorites at the very top of the list. I I think she is incredible. And again, I feel like we were missing out a little bit. I missed her storyline. I loved her being the sister, and I thought that was such cool depth to it. But just her like evilness, her again, like Grace said, turning them into like the creatures and all of that. When she killed them, I was literally just stood there like jaw agape, like what just happened? I was literally watching it with my friend, and I just like looked at her, and I was like, and like, are you watching the same thing I have? They like almost just kind of like enhance, not obviously like torturing them for eternity again is a lot more evil, but like they enhance the cruelty to it. Like it's a kids' film, and they just turn to dust, and I was like, is this what's going on right now? Okay. I just wasn't expecting it, and original Ursula has my whole heart. She's great. She's incredible. So that's is who I'm choosing.
Yeah. I forgot to mention one thing. I just remember this in the final battle, and I just think like when she turned into that giant Ursula, I was just thinking, why does she have gills on her cheeks? Like that was just such a weird design. Like I know the CGI is good, but why did it decide to just put three things and not like on the neck or something, but like on the cheeks? It was like so weird.
Right, best supporting characters. I'm gonna start with Sebastian. Sebastian in the live action is actually one of the characters I liked most, apart from Ursula. He doesn't have the same charm as the original. He's like definitely such a different Sebastian, but I liked him in this. But what I most missed was his war with the chef, like that whole, that whole rivalry. Like that, I miss that so much. So the original Sebastian wins. Flounder, he was seriously misdone in the 2023 version. He was barely in the movie. You wouldn't even know he was Ariel's friend. So definitely the original. Scuttle, I'm simply just gonna say I love the original. Like it's definitely much more better. And all of the animals looked really creepy. So thank you so much, Disney, for the nightmares and stuff. Again, not bad enough. I had that from The Lion King. Now I've got to have it for The Little Mermaid as well. King Triton, I love that he got a bigger role in the 2023 version, but it was pointless. Like, for what? I didn't feel anything from the actor. He just seemed like he couldn't be bothered to act. Like, and his relationship with Ariel, I didn't get that same feeling as the original had. Like if you put them two together to me, and like what kind of relationship do they have? I'd be like, oh, well, they're just strangers. Like I didn't get that feeling that they were father and daughter. It just felt emotionless. His whole portrayal of King Triton. So again, the 1989 version wins for King Triton, but also for all of the supporting characters. So yeah, it's gonna have to be the original for me. Grace?
Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely with the original. So Sebastian, while both of them in the original and the remake were good, they were strict and they were good supporters as well. I felt like the in the original Sebastian was more funny. He had more sense of humor, which I like. Scuttle, I prefer the original. I really like the actress. She was funny, but I kind of prefer the one in the original. I felt like he had been more funny moments as well, definitely. Flounder, they definitely pushed him far behind from like being a side character to like from like being a sidekick to like some fish in the crowd that you couldn't really tell which one is flounder. Like if you give me a group of fish, I'm like, which one is flounder? Oh, who gives a shit? Just pick one. It's if being a fish was so useless in the remake, they should have changed his species like they did with Scuttle. Like, change Flounder to a dolphin. He would have been probably more useful. You know what? They were gonna give Ariel a dolphin side character before Flounder, so that would have been quite a good change, to be honest. Um, Triton, yeah, I think in the original he had better character development. Like he was like such a tempered father, but then he grew to be more accepting. Like he accepted Eric and he accepted Ariel's choice of being human. I felt like in the remake, while we see like he was calmer and he was a bit more like he just I don't know like he just felt a bit more stubborn in a way. I don't know how I describe it. And let's not forget, Flotsam and Jepson were like they did them dirty in the remake. In the original, they were creepy, but they were such a perfect side characters. Like they sounded so creepy and they sounded so alluring. They were the perfect sidekicks for Ursula. In the remake, they look like puppets. I know they were trying to base them on like real eels, but they look to me they just look like puppets just moving around doing nothing. And also, I hate that they just didn't talk at all. Like, I don't know why. But and I also think I don't know why they changed it to electric eels. I felt like they merged the prequel Ariel's beginning with this because that had electric eels. So I think they're just trying to bring things together, but I didn't like the change. And also Eric's the new character, Eric's mother in the remake, Queen Selena, I think. I just felt like her character was a bit pointless in a way. I'm not trying to be rude, but I also felt like they missed a big connection between her and Ariel because she lost her mother, and I felt like she would have made a good connection with her, with Eric's mother, in a way. So I thought they should have built a relationship between those two as well. Yeah, I think the original had it all.
And I agree with you on all of them. The original completely covered it all. Sebastian is comical and great and has like movement and character in the original. And then in the new one, he looks creepy and is kind of terrifying. And he's missing all his humor and he's missing that main scene where he would fight with the chef and like had me in bits as a child. Absolutely Catholic. Nothing. It was not that. Flounder, I'm sorry. Who is this fish? Because it is not the blue and yellow chunky fish that I grew up to love.
Hmm.
Terrifying. Again, didn't like it. Skull, love the actress. Absolutely adore her. She's one of my favorite actresses of all time. Why was this bird underwater for the majority of her scene? this bird was swimming for about 15 minutes and it would have drowned. And all I could all I could think of when I was watching it, I was like, why is this bird still under the water? It is so swimming. What is going on? And I was just sat there the whole time like, this bird, it's drowning. Why are we okay with this? I just feel like we lost all of the magic with all the characters. Like Disney is very well known for its side characters, for its like sidekicks and everything. Every single one of them has its own character and development. And we're lucky enough that in The Little Mermaid we kind of have three. Obviously, like Sebastian's probably like the main one, but then we also get Flounder for half the film. We get Skull for a lot of it as well. Like Ariel has a lot of friends, and they're all giving like amazing character development and magic, and everyone like loves all of them. Why was it taken away from us? And why was I given scary remakes of realistic fish and crabs and birds that are swimming under the water? Disney, why is the bird drowning? Yeah, that is what I have to say.
Thank you. Right, next one is Best Musical Soundtrack. So, whilst The Little Mermaid has never been one of my top favorites, I do have to admit it has an amazing soundtrack. From Poor Unfortunate Souls to Part of Your World. Those are absolute karaoke gems, I definitely. And whilst the 2023 version has its own takes on these songs, with Halle's gorgeous singing, it also has some new ones like Wild Uncharted Waters, which was a waste of time in my opinion. For the first time, I really just I don't understand the point of that song. And the Scuttle part, which was weird, but it's sort of stuck in my head for a weird reason. Like at first when I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, what on earth is this? But it's sort of stuck in my head now. But in the movie, it's weird. But yeah. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the original soundtrack is just miles better. Like you just can't compare it. There is none of the new additions they did made me feel like, oh my God, this is such an amazing song. They really, it really makes the movie stand out. Like, for Aladdin 2019, Speechless. Oh my God, one of the best songs ever
Yeah.
that they did in a remake. But in this one, like nothing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. The soundtrack was a letdown, to be honest. Yeah. Grace?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit on the fence because I think the original songs from the classic, I think the videos for each one of them were all bright and all colorful and all memorable. I really loved them to bits. Um, and to be honest, after watching the remake, I've been listening to someone like talking, like listening to their songs and talking about like their singing, their vocals and everything. And one thing they mentioned that I do kind of agree is that the way the characters are singing in the remake sounds more like they're singing on Broadway than they are in a film. In a way, like in the songs, they sound like in most songs like they sound like they're paused and then talking a bit and then sing. And I think Emily, you mentioned this to me a while ago that some of them sound a bit auto tune. I can't really tell which is auto tune and which is not, to be honest. But yeah, I'm kind of pleased they gave Eric a song, and I because I feel like it's nice to have like to get both like genders, both like the love interests a song as well to express their stories and like feelings, like similar to Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. And I get it. You may think it might be pointless, but I feel like I do like the song. I do like listening to it. I just think like they should have executed better in the story in the film. Like I feel like they should have, I don't know, done something else with it. Also, I understand that Disney is trying to push the message of women in power, and I am proud of that. Because I felt like they have cut and like changed lyrics from some of these songs in the remake. And there's one thing I don't understand why they change it. So if you remember in the original Poor Unfortunate Souls, when Ursula said, "You have your looks, your pretty face, and don't under underestimate the importance of body language. Yeah, I don't understand why they cut that out, because they say, oh, it may be a bit inappropriate. But I think that thing was the whole point of Paul Fortune. So it's like Ursula was trying to persuade Ariel, forget about your voice, it's all about the looks. Men are into that. I do love Part of Your World. Halle was beautiful singing that as well. The others were okay. For the first time, I understand like why they added, and it's not my favorite, but it is quite good, and it is it's quite interesting how they use that in the story. Kiss the Girl was good. But I didn't like that compared to the original. I didn't like it was just Sebastian, Scuttle, and Flounder just singing. I'd rather have all the animals come in and singing like the background music as well. I hate Scatterbar. Like when it first appeared, I was like, it's like, well, you. If I was watching that on the laptop, I would be like, skip, 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 skip. Like, I think they were trying to do that for kids or something, but it just sounded so irritating. It's like banging, banging. It was just not. Oh, I just couldn't. I rather swap that song for like Le Passoir or something. Oh, you know what? Here's something I just realized. I realized that most of the official Disney couples, like Aurora and Philip, or like Beauty and the Beast, like they're all like each one of them had like a song where the couples sing together. I don't think Ariel and Eric have ever. So I rather cut Scatterbutt or like For the First Time, and just maybe write a song for Ariel and Eric, like where they sing together. Probably not in the same room, but like something together. I think that would be much more magical. I think the songs were good in original, but sorry, the songs in the remake were good, but not as enthusiastic as the original. So I think I'm leaning towards the original. I think that side of the grass is greener than the remake.
I am once again going with the original. Like Grace said, we're missing the magic, the enthusiasm. We're missing the other animals singing. We're missing the color, the band, the tunes, all of it. It's just gone. And I am not happy. I'm also not happy that they took out Ursula's little quote. It's so iconic. I understand the whole, yes, boys don't just like body language and your body, and then like that, your voice is so much more important. But we do learn that because Eric loved Ariel for her voice. That was the whole message of the film. So having Ursula be that person's kind of torn Ariel into thinking like, oh yeah, it's all about your body, it's all about body language. And then having the whole end result being like, no, I love her for her voice. And that other stuff is just a good addition. We're missing it. We're missing the taunting. We're missing the like I love Ursula, and I feel like that was just like a whole bit of her personality, having her big like song and production of it. It was just incredible. But the one thing I did like that they changed was obviously kiss the girl rather than having them constantly encourage like the kissing bit. They changed it and they put use your words, boy, and ask her because we love consent. Yes, I'm glad that they made that. Just a small kind of addition, but consent. Guys, remember, unconscious people don't want you. People who can't communicate you through voice would love to have that asked so they can give you an answer. So yes, thank you for that addition. I did love that. And I don't think they didn't do it but like I don't think they did a bad job. We're missing the magic. Disney, like Emily said, Speechless, one of my all-time favorite songs. Not even just Disney songs, just all-time favorites. When it came out, it was on my top played on Spotify for the next like 2 years. And I've said this before, I adore that song. And we haven't had one like that. And I feel like Aladdin maybe might have been the last remake that I actually like loved. And where's the magic gone? I don't know. I also didn't like Eric's song. I'm sorry. I'm glad they gave Eric a song. I just didn't like it. And as soon as Grace said Broadway. It just nailed it on the head. That man is singing in the theatre, and I can't see it now. But you're a good actor, but if you're singing, stick to the theatre.
Right,
Ariel,
it's the final one now. So I think we've all kind of made it already sort of clear, but we'll do it anyway. Best overall movie. So I wasn't looking forward to the live action, and after watching it, I agree. It wasn't worth my time watching, which sounds really horrible, but that is how I feel. It definitely is not like one of the worst live actions I've ever seen, but it simply just wasn't great. It had the potential, which is so annoying because all of these movies had the potential. Like Disney had the potential to make these changes and stuff, but it just didn't deliver. So sadly, the 1989 version wins. They definitely should have, what they should have done was focused on doing a movie on Ursula's backstory, like a prequel sort of thingy. Like that would have been amazing. Like there's no need to do another Little Mermaid. We've already got something that's decent. It's not my favorite, but you know what I mean. So, and after, rewatching the original, I found it funny all of a sudden. Like I was, I really enjoyed it watching it when I was, well, when I was older, I'm saying, it sounds horrible, but when I was, like a couple of months ago. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is like they definitely should have really thought about what they were doing and whether it was necessary, which I feel like they're going with the same thing again with Snow White. Like they're definitely going down a really, really, really bad road. And hopefully they'll come back around. But yeah, like Ellie said, Aladdin, the 2019 version was the last best remake that Disney did. I think that's one that I've really enjoyed the most. So yeah. So best overall movie, definitely, and I'm really surprised I'm saying this, but it's the original 1989 version.
Okay, well, I made the remake. I did say earlier, like I did say in the review, you can check that out. I did think it was actually quite good. Like it wasn't awful like some other remakes that happened in the past, like Pinocchio or Dumbo. But I think this one did we I did good job. Like I think the CGI in the remake was actually pretty neat, pretty good. Like I loved Ariel's tail. Like I love the little details on it and on the mermaids and the design of like all the mermaids' tails. Like even her sisters, they look pretty lovely. And the sea animals they look pretty realistic, but they look quite okay as well, definitely. What I really, really hate when I first saw this film is that they had so much money and they couldn't be bothered to create a beautiful underwater palace for Atlantica. I'm like, what the hell? Like they just made it like cool. I know they're trying to be realistic, but it was just you could have made it like so magical. It was absolutely it was bad. Also, the remake, it was just I felt like they made it too natural, like with the lighting and the coloring. Like it wasn't as bright. I can tell Ellie really agrees. Yeah. Yeah. So they didn't make it as bright and colorful as they should. Um, but yeah, I think, and also the story. I felt like they should have done something else with the story. Like I felt like there should have been something else to be included, or something more, like another obstacle or something else. But there was something missing. It was like they definitely lost the magic in that. Like good characters. The ending was again okay. Also, the costumes and like in the like for Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, oh, they had so many different costumes for Jasmine and Belle. For this, they only give Ariel one dress. She had like three in the original. She had the pink one, and she also had the sparkling dress one where she walked out of the water. That? Oh, honestly, it was just ew. Disney. If you're gonna use a lot of money in CGI and this stuff, make it worth it. Use all your money on stuff like that. Don't just cheap it out for God's sake. But yeah, I think the original had more had more magic and had more color, especially with the songs, the characters. Even even in the story, there was so much character development. So yeah, I'm gonna and the animation was beautiful for the songs and every scene. So yeah, animation wins, definitely. I mean, sorry, the original wins for sure.
And for me, again, also the original, if you couldn't tell from my other answers. But I low-key kind of hated the remake. Sorry. I literally I finished watching it and I kind of despised it. Why? I understand it's natural lighting, but the whole movie was so dark. Like you can't see anything. All that money you're spending on CGI is gone because I can't see what is on the screen right now. I'm missing like half the screen. And I understand that we're underwater and it's real life and it's all of this, but I need to see. I need to know what I'm watching. Like I have poor eyesight as it is. Don't turn down the lights on me. Well, the whole point of a Disney movie is that it's bright and it's magical, and you're losing it again. As soon as Grace said that, I was like, yeah, that's the point I was about to go into. Like we just missed so much of that movie because it was so dark, and any fine details or like little treasures that they're gonna hide in the back with all the CGI that they've spent all this money on gone because I cannot see the screen and the only thing I'm focusing on is the main character in front of me because I can't see anything else. The actors were great and they're great actors and they're great actresses and I think they've done so well, but they couldn't bring our characters to life and it again was lacking in all the magic and humor that we usually get from a Disney movie. Like Emily said, Aladdin was the last one I actually thoroughly really enjoyed and I rewatched so many times because I absolutely adored it. And this one I will not be rewatching because I did love The Little Mermaid as a kid and I was, unlike Emily, really excited for the remake. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be incredible. They've got great like castings, they've got great actors coming in, they've got all this CGI, they've got all of this stuff that's going to make it absolutely incredible. And Disney still managed to fail us. So I don't know what route they're going down right now, but it's a bit of a slope and it keeps going downhill. So Disney, bring it back. I know you're doing remakes, and I get remakes is quite literally remaking the film, but you can adjust it along the way. Like there are storylines that can be discovered, and there's different things that can be shown. It doesn't need to be word for word, and in this case, it wasn't even word for word. So just give us something original all the way.
Yes, so that's our small debate, guys. I think we all know who the clear winner is today, the original, definitely. Tell us your thoughts in the comments about, do you think the original is better than the remake, or do you think the remake is better than the original? Let us know, guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, you could tell us about if there's any other debates you want us to do on, like Dumbo, Jungle Book, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, all that. Tell us, guys. We're probably trying to do all of them, but we'll wait and see. You can check out our reviews on some of our latest Disney films like Elemental, The Little Mermaid as well, Peter Pan, and other bits. We also done films on Marvel, TV shows, done games, pranks, a whole lot. Check them all out, guys. Check out our website as well. Tons of information about the team and some of our videos we've done in the past 2 years. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. If you do, we'll follow you back. That's a promise. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.